Hello commanders and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about my Anaconda exploration build. There's a couple things I want to go over before we talk about it. The primary one being the FCO drives that were just introduced in the last update. With an FCO drive fully engineered, it comes really close, if not a little bit better, than a pre-engineered drive in the same class. So if you don't already have an FCO drive, I would go ahead and pick one up. But unless you're like me and very impatient, I'd recommend waiting until the next update when they lower the cost of engineering. As always, the hardpoints are just basically empty. For the utility mounts, I leave these empty, but feel free to take anything you want. It's more like a personal preference. It doesn't weigh too much to take like a chaff launcher or like some point defenses, but you don't really need it if you're exploring. For the core internals, I have lightweight alloys, which I think you can actually engineer. I might not have that engineer unlocked though, which would probably increase the range a little bit, but we'll get there one day. For the power plant, I have a 4A power plant. I know some people use the 3A power plant. I just, personal preference, I chose this one over that one. And then I engineered it with thermal spread and heat efficiency, all that good stuff. Next thing we chose was the 5D thrusters. Basically everything's going to be D from here on out, besides the frameshift drive. D is like the lightest. For the frameshift drive, we used a 6A FCO fully engineered drive. Well, I say fully, I'm missing like 0.2 on the mass, but it is what it is. We put mass manager on, and it's very helpful. Power distributor will be the next one we'll talk about. That is 5D. I chose a lower one since you're not really going to be doing much else when you're exploring, like shooting guns and etc. It helps boost up the range a little bit, and it's not super required to have a high tier one. Next up is sensors. This one is engineered with lightweight so that I can get a little bit more range out as well. That's really going to be it for the core internals, so we'll move on to the optionals. Something I will preach until the end of time is having a big fuel scoop, especially if you're exploring. The cargo racks are because they don't really affect much unless there's something in them, so you can at least have cargo space, and as long as they're empty, they're not going to affect your jump range. I brought a 2G planetary vehicle hanger. This is for if I want to do like exobiology. I do like doing exobiology, and I will be going back to Colonia soon, so this will be nice. The next thing we'll talk about is kind of a requirement for exploration builds. If you don't have the Guardian booster unlocked, I'd highly recommend unlocking it as soon as possible. Once you have it unlocked, you can purchase it from any space station that has it available. I equipped myself with a 4D shield generator. It's not really a requirement, but I usually rock with one because I learned my lesson a couple of times, just the hard way. The next one is kind of a requirement. Your modules do take damage while you're out exploring, depending on what you're doing, or if you fuck up and maybe fly into the sun or something. This will be really helpful. It'll keep all your modules situated for you. This one is also a requirement. A detailed surface scanner is good for finding exobiology. Again, I like to do exobiology, so that's kind of personal preference. The advanced docking computer and the Super Cruise Assist weigh like nothing, and I'm the laziest pilot out there, so I don't want to land my ship very often. For my vehicle, I bring the Scarab. It's a really lightweight one. I think it's like 4 tons versus 30 on the Scorpion. It's very useful for driving around on planet surfaces. Very good for biology. That wraps it up for this video. If you have any like tips or suggestions, just let me know. I'm pretty sure you could probably engineer this to go even further on the jump range, but this is the best I could get it with the new FCO drives. Thank you guys for watching. 07.